Howdy, yo, Copy Gang. We're going to be talking today about Alestrals. There's so much going on Alestrals right now. We might not stay quite on topic, but as a starting point, we can start talking about some Shattered Stars. Matt, how are you? How have you been doing?
I'm always doing good, and you?
I'm doing good. I'm going to be coloring on Nebula while we're talking. But um, you did not get in on Shattered Stars, right?
No, I don't. I don't purchase packs typically.
Okay, and I have ordered the 3 pack. That means I'll get 3 packs a month. I think they are 5 cards each. They have the stained glass promos. They gonna be a stellar chance in them, and then there's alternate art of cards from set one. They've said that in the future there will also be cards that are from further sets, but if it's a card from set two, it might come out a week before set two, but it's not going to come out a month before set two, something like that. But it won't be with set two. I think they said it might happen with set three or four. The card art is about on par, except for the full art spirits look way better to me. And then the hollow pattern on the stained glass cards is gorgeous. To start out with, why did you not get in on Shattered Stars, and what would push you a little closer to getting it? I know in general you're looking at singles and that market, but what would it take to convince you otherwise?
Um, just guaranteed pulls of cards that people can't reasonably obtain otherwise. So like, shoot, what's the Nexus card that allows you to change the position of an opponent's Celestial that doesn't target? Oh, it's a counter rune that is
Oh, Ultra
generic.
Stars?
Yeah, alter. Right now that card's like valued over $20 a copy. But yeah, no. For me, it's like I would purchase them if I knew I could get some valuable cards and wouldn't have to spend $20 to get a single copy of Alter or any important card like that for the metagame.
Okay, so to you, it's a financial aspect. It's a I want to see that this is decreasing the market value of staple cards.
Yeah, and also like just making the game more accessible to people who are interested in playing the game competitively. The game doesn't have the biggest competitive scene right now, sure, but I'm not a big art guy and I'm not a big packs guy. I just like the effects. So for me, it would be okay. Well, is it going to be worth it for me long term to purchase this pack? And whenever I think of something that is worth long term, I think of like the important counter rooms for the metagame.
Do you think that the Caterunes we have now, how do you think that they will be power crept, or do you think that they will continue to be the creme de la creme of Caterunes?
I was watching the tournament that took place 2 days ago, and in reference to that, A Drive had brought up Earthquake. It's an invoke spell, and I know that you mentioned counter runes, but this is just an example of ideas he has for cards. He mentioned that there will be more removal in set two and onwards, but Earthquake will always and forever be that go-to if you need to destroy something on the field and you want to target it, this is going to be your card. And he said there will be other removal options that have different effects or different conditions, but like that's going to be the best one.
See, and I
So
agree.
I think
I think that's a good design in an ideal world, but how complex are you gonna have to make cards to continuously upkeep that?
there's no telling. So whenever I think of other designs that are already in place, I think of the one drop generic that only destroys if you have two enchanting spirits of less than your opponent.
Resting.
Yeah, resting on your laurels. That's already a pretty complex card.
Yeah, I don't like
They're
that's already at the point where I'm like, I don't like playing resting because I don't want to reread the card and be like, this is how it works, right? And
good
it's
night, baby.
fine if there's only a couple of like if there's 3 or 4 of those, that's fine, but every card in your deck is like that. Like the Ursa Den is also pretty wordy to me. Every card in your deck is gonna be like that. It's gonna be kind of a headache for me.
For me, it would be: do you want to keep the previous set cards valuable and viable? And sure, making future cards more complex just to give other colors the options for removal could be rough. It's hard for me to explain exactly how I feel about this because I'm not against a card being more complex, but if a card being more complex makes it not viable, then why even print it?
I think you would agree with the statement. You are okay with more complex cards if it justifies itself through the gameplay.
Yeah, like it goes back to the freaking Oystress complex. Like, what's the point of Oystress? You know,
Yeah,
like
it's like, what do you need for Orsterous to be good? Is it like a card like Doran the Siege Tower in Magic, where everybody starts dealing damage with their toughness instead?
you pretty much need Galaxy on board for Oystress to even.
No,
And here's like the extent you would have to go through to even make it semi useful. You would need Galaxy on field. And then you would want to empower Oystress with Atlantis and what was the other one? Spear of Atlantis? No, Trident of Poseidon. Yeah, Poseidon and Trident of Poseidon. That way they can't cast counter runes, and then that puts Oystress up to like what, a 5? They get +1 in defense for every other water on the battlefield, but it's still a 5 at that point.
I don't know. I like
It
Oysterous's design, so it's sad to me that it's so bad.
yeah.
But I'm
But
I'm the art side of the game, you know. I don't play the uglies, okay?
yeah, and that's what's hard for me to talk. Like, that's why it's so hard for me to talk about Shattered Stars. That's why I have to think so much before my sentences here, because it would take quite a bit for me to consider purchasing what is essentially a monthly subscription of packs. Enjoy the amount of money I would have to spend to get them.
Yeah, also the huge thing with that is the shipping cost. I think I'm paying as much for shipping as the packs, and I think it's pretty normal, because I would assume I'm pretty close to where A Drive is shipping from. And then on the Discord, we're seeing people that are posting, "Hey, look, I just wanted to get the $10 worth of packs. Why is shipping $20?" And they're working on that. I feel like that really has to be fixed before this can become sustainable. And I think it's a really interesting development in the TCG market to keep things kind of fresh but not overwhelming like we see most of the big card games doing. Releasing a set every 3 months is what Magic used to do. That's what Yu-Gi-Oh used to do. But now they're releasing like a set almost every month, and it's so overwhelming. The subscription is a way to slow drip content without overwhelming, but still give you something to keep it fresh. I think what you're saying is you want to see mechanical freshness or financial freshness rather than art freshness, art
Yeah, because
durability.
while I do like certain designs, like the alt art Ash Rabbit and stuff like that, and Ambrosia's art, I think those arts are good. I'm not an art guy. I'm a mechanical guy. I like for my cards to do something.
Okay, what do you think? What else do you think about Elestrals right now? Like we're getting a little deeper into set two spoilers. I think it's weird the way they're doing the spoilers. Well, I don't know. I'm multiple thoughts about how they're doing spoilers of cards that rely on other cards for their function. It lets us know that this is what's coming, and we don't jump the gun months early and just start playing that. I think, especially since we're on an online meta, that could be an issue. You know, like if they reveal a set two card 6 months ahead of time, what they've done with like Cryoling. If that card is good, it's not good because we don't know what it does. We don't know what its ascension is. But if it was good, people would just pick it up and it would feel like a set one card from how long we would have been playing with it before set three.
Yeah.
But if sets were coming out every 3 months, like will be normal when they get really rolling, I don't think I would like to see we get the little manta ray, but we don't know what Dust Tornado does, so we don't know what that card's really effect is. It just feels like, yeah, it's cute, but why are you showing me this card right now?
Yeah, it's hard for me to plan or be excited around the effect of the card whenever I don't know what the other cards around it do. I get what you mean by that. Could be
But what
good,
but
but it
what
could
do
be.
you feel about the set 2 stuff we got so far?
Let me pull up the set two cards right quick because I don't want to misspeak. I agree that I think the arts are cute, but I agree that the arts are cute. I remember there were a couple of effects that I thought were really cool. There was what, Cerebral?
Oh, I love Cerebral's design. I've drawn him several times. He's so cute. It's like I'll start drawing another Elestral, then all of a sudden I'll be like, I could keep drawing this, or I could draw Cerebral instead. And that's happened 4 or 5 times.